everybody. Thanks for coming. My name is Sepehr Khosravi. I'm originally from Tehran, Iran, and I'm currently a psychotherapist trainee and student at California State University, East Bay. And here's my study and my mentor's study. We are having a study called Qualitative Study of Body Image and Culture Among Iranian Americans. My name is Sepehr Khosravi and my mentor, Dr. Amar Miller. All right, so a little bit of background information. There is definitely a racist roots of weight stigma that date back hundreds of years prior to us. It is rooted in the fear of larger-bodied black women. Weight stigma emerged in the 18th to 19th century Enlightenment belief that fatness was evidence of racial inferiority and savagery. Recently, there are contemporary experiences with sizeism. Weight stigma or sizeism is a form of discrimination that results in psychological distress, mental health complications, including suicidality and substance use. 40% of United States adults have experienced weight stigma, with higher numbers internationally. 40% and higher US adults have experienced weight stigma, which in return diminishes preventive care and health behaviors. Weight stigma also increases mortality risk. And one thing that really stands out as well is not only that happens, but weight stigma diminishes health behaviors, preventive care, causing lower physical activity, healthcare avoidance, weight gain, and disordered eating. So why study Iranians? This exposure to European culture and beauty health norms has been happening for hundreds of years. During the 1789 to 1925, during the Qajar period, was definitely a peak of it. And expanded during 1925 to 1979, during the Pahlavi period, when King Reza Shah imposed Iranian women to unveil. Unveiling helped enforce Western beauty ideals of being tall and thin, having tanned, light skin, long hair, high cheekbones, small nose, and large eyes. After the 1979 overthrow of the Iranian monarchy and mandate of Islamic hijab for women, Western culture still prevailed among Iranians. So how does modern Iran look like? Women are still subject to Western beauty standards. Many Iranian women use surgeries to achieve this Western beauty ideal bodies. The Iranian diaspora often retain these cultural values and norms. So here we're looking at a more historical perspective of how Iranian women's beauty standards have changed throughout the years. So from 1789 to 1925, the Qajar period, Iranian women were known to be bigger, and that was celebrated. Fatness was a sign of richness and culture. And we even have, they were known for having mustaches, Iranian women. And the king's wives had so many different types of mustaches and fatness, which was celebrated so greatly. During the Pahlavi period, we see a dramatic change in beauty standards. More thinner bodies were celebrated. And post-Iranian Revolution 1979, the Islamic regime forced Iranian women to really cover up, and they did not give them any rights, unfortunately. And then now, during the Women Life Freedom Revolution 2022 and present, we see thousands, millions of Iranian women stand up against the regime and let their hair out, and it's a very symbolic and powerful way to go against the regime. Women rights matter. Okay. So, research on Iranians and body image. What is out there? Although there's little research on Iranians and body image, here are some of the things that do exist. 70% of Iranian women, 18 and up, were not satisfied with their bodies, according to an article by Nignaz et al. A survey of 535 Iranian university students indicated 2/3 were not satisfied with their bodies. Body dissatisfaction in Iranians adolescents ranges from 40 to 70% according to a study Shiraka et al. In 2019. Men are understudied, and Iranians in general. And no research has been done on Iranian Americans and body image yet. I'm doing my part on that with my mentor, so here we are. Let's go. So what are my methods for my study? So I use ethnographic notes to incorporate my own experiences in this study as a Iranian American fat male. Some of the interviews I've done are semi-structured interviews about the experiences of fat Iranian Americans. I've had 9 participants so far, 5 women, 4 men, ages ranging between 18 and 40. I've recruited them through my convenience and snowball sampling, and I've interviewed them for around 30 minutes to around an hour through Zoom. And currently I'm in the process of analysis of qualitative data using coding with my mentor. Okay, so here are the frequency counts by gender of what comes up through all the interviews I've done. So things that really stand out are the following. Physical, emotional impacts, how much it really affects Iranian Americans, sizeism, culture, and what comes through it. Throughout all the participants, women on average, throughout all the interviews, 99 times it came up, compared to men, which was only 24 times. Although there is a significant less men reporting it, that doesn't mean it exists less, because as I will talk through the slides going forward, men had a lot of trouble talking about sizeism and how they had body image issues and fatness in general. They were very denying of it because they thought that they would be able to change their bodies. While women were very open, they're like, yes, this issue exists. We do get all these comments coming from family members and everything about I'm fat, you're fat, stuff like that. There is definitely an internal fat bias here, which came up a lot throughout all the studies, 68 times for women and 26 times for men. And on average, 13.6 times per person for internal fat bias for women and 6.5 times per person for men. And the need to change their body. This came up frequently, 101 times overall, 61 times for women on average, throughout the study, through all the interviews, and 40 times for all the men that came up. And then sizeism in Iranian culture, which was really prevalent too, 94 times overall. Again, women were reported it more, 80 times throughout all the participants' interviews, and men 14 times. And there's also other codes, but those are the ones that were more frequently came up more. Okay, so here's some of the themes. Physical emotional symptoms. One of my participants says, I did the gastric bypass surgery due to the exclusion and pressure from others around me, commenting on my weight. But after the surgery, an individual still commented on my weight, telling me you should have got skinnier after the surgery. Here's that one from a woman participant. This is from my male participant. I always made a promise to my friends, and I said that if I ever see my basketball coach again, I would push him or I would key in his car for literally killing my love for the game and bullying me for my weight. Being in the NBA was my childhood dream, and this coach's comments towards my body may have killed that dream. NBA is the National Basketball Association.
What does key a car mean?
Means you take a key and you scratch someone's car.
Oh.
Yes. Okay. So the next one that was extremely common throughout all the studies, critical family feedback. So here's a comment from one of my woman participants. I saw my cousin at a New Year's party after 2 years. I had an accident and couldn't exercise for a while and gained more weight. Instead of saying, hi and how are you doing, she tells me, you're exploding. Another theme that came up a lot is the need to change their body. So this is coming from my male participant. I literally might go do liposuction for my love handles in Iran. I've lost 35 pounds, I've lost 80 pounds before. I've lost it all before. The only place that never ever changes in my hourglass figure is my love handles. It's crazy that I literally have to get those possibly surgically removed. Another theme that came up is comparison to friends' bodies. This is coming from my woman participant. I always Photoshop my body on my pictures and social media to make myself a little bit more skinny because I don't want to stand with my skinny friends and look larger than them. Okay, so what were my discoveries? In the Iranian culture, comments towards your body is a normal, everyday form of expression for individuals. Iranians think that they're doing good by mentioning what is wrong with you so that you can fix it. But in American culture, comments come in the form of direct bullying. More Iranian American women are open about sharing their weight-related problems than Iranian American men, even though United States research suggests that body image dissatisfaction among men has tripled from 1975 to 2000, reaching an overall 43%. I've learned that by thriving in my own large body, I inspire others to do the same. As one of my male participants mentioned, they want to get at me calling names, but in Iran, they want to help me. In America, I can fight back because I know it's time to fight. But in Iran, I'm confused and don't know what to do. The men who I have reached out for an interview prefer to deny their large body type and not participate in my research because they think that being fat is a temporary condition and that they will be fit one day. Most male participants express more anger compared to my female participants during their interviews, and female participants express their emotions in a more controlled manner. All right, thank you so much. I want to acknowledge my faculty mentor and my co-author on this research, Dr. Amaro Miller, at the Center for Student Research at California State University, East Bay, and the Counseling Department at California State University, East Bay. If you want to reach out to me, that's my Instagram, and this is my email. Thank you so much. All right. If you have any questions?
I just have a comment. I just heard a presentation in the States that anti-fat is anti-black.
Yes. I have that originally. So originally to kind of go over on your comment, if we go on the first slide, there's research done by Dr. Sabrina Strings from University of California, Irvine, that really talks about where this fear of fatness comes from. And she does a whole analysis, of historical wise of why there is this fear towards fatness and how it's linked. Yes. Yeah. Any other questions?
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Your sample were Iranians who live in America. I saw that you mentioned that in Iran, for example, for men, it's not a problem. But what is the situation with women? In Iran, are they also bullied there, or there are like different standards there?
Yeah. So the great thing was a lot of my participants, they spend the majority of their time in Iran, and they're university students who've come recently trying to leave Iran for education, coming to the US, so PhD students. And a lot of them very recently in Iran, and there are kind of two things that are happening. Not only the Iranian pressure of changing one's own body, but also the American pressure of not knowing, am I right or am I wrong the way I view my body? Is it worthy or not worthy? It's this constant struggle that makes it harder for Iranian American women compared to Iranians back in Iran, just the ladies themselves. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.